Let us say you make a huge mistake at work, as we heard last time, where one of our members called a coworker stupid. But she apologized for that. And then your boss gets upset for whatever reason, and you come out 20 minutes later after a buffet of ignorance and bad leadership. How do you handle that 20 minutes of ridiculousness? How do you not let it affect the rest of your day? That is what we're here to talk about. You don't want it to affect your performance, and you don't want it to affect your good times you could have with the coworkers that you like. The human mind still has the same response to stresses that we had 10,000 years ago, either fight or flight, and we've got to adapt to build a current method of dealing with stress that allow you to improve your workplace situation and not get angry. Because anger is a ridiculous emotion, as we've all come. We should have learned how to get rid of this crazy emotion in grammar school, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. The voice in your head after a bad situation at work will tell you ridiculous things. It'll say, oh, I'm going to get fired. Now I could end up homeless. My kids are going to have to go to SAC. My wife's going to leave me for a boss. This voice in your head is what you want to try, and you don't want it to progress to, wait a second, I made this huge mistake. What coworker can I throw under the bus so I don't take the blame? These are the things that you want to try and, you don't want your voice to take over. You have to. Anti-anxiety medication can be good, but you can't operate heavy machinery. Exercise, prayer, meditation, these are the things that we want to strive for and to make us better workers. How many times have you taken the minute or time to say a prayer, some deep breaths, and you thought, wow, I'm really glad I took some time out to sit in the park and to just not think about how badly this mistake was. So let's come back for a minute to the 20 minutes where you were waterboarded with just ridiculousness from your boss. Dale Carnegie wrote, he was one of the first modern authors to write the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, incorporating the ideas of just living in the now. What he did was he interviewed a lot of the admirals during World War II who said that how they would deal with so many stressful situations is they would treat their mind like a battleship. When you have a damaged section of the ship, you would seal it off. And that's what you have to do with these problems. After those 20 minutes, you want to just seal it off. Imagine putting it in an airtight container and ignoring it for the rest of the 7 hours and 40 minutes that you have left at work so you can enjoy work. You may want to put your boss in an airtight container, but you can't do that. You have evolved. And that's what we're here to you want to improve your mind. Don't waste your energy thinking about how you want life to be. Just be happy. Michael Singer, who wrote The Surrender Experiment, he's considered one of the modern philosophers. He goes, you only have 2 choices. You can be happy or not. That's it. That's in all your situations. You be happy or don't. And when you go to lunch, we don't want to sit down and listen to a person talk about endless problems for the 30 minutes that you have to stuff food in your face. You want to talk about something different. What makes you such a valuable employee is that you are able to learn from the past mistakes without dwelling. That's called experience. Experience is just learning from a mistake and moving on. You don't have it. You're not always thinking about the future or the past or worried about all kinds of stuff. if you do, another way of relieving stress is by helping others out. Christianity has this all through it, where food banks and it's not just to, it also, it's to be a good person, but it also helps you out. If you've watched the movie Blindsided with Sandra, whatever her name is. Oh, Bullock, that's it. In one scene, she's having lunch with her friends, and she had taken Michael Orion, and he became an NFL star, and they said, "You saved that boy's life." And she goes, "No, he saved mine." And Viktor Frankl wrote Man's Life from You. This is the best-selling psychology book in modern times. It's the story of how a Jewish doctor in a concentration camp he said he was able to mostly survive in the concentration camp by helping others out. As the doctor in the camp, helping others out, he said that he was just able to, it just kept him together. And that's the whole purpose. We have a 2026 election campaign coming up where you can volunteer endless hours starting in March all the way up to November. There's going to be a ton of money. You get free, if you want to go, you get to complain about politicians you don't like, and after work it's great. At Republican volunteer places, you have great food. I volunteered even at the Democratic places and eating the celery and fake cheese and sat next to the guy with a beard and smelly feet who thought patchouli oil was a substitute for a shower. I liked it. It was real fun. Volunteer. It will do you some good. Emotions are just programs. If you have emotions that are just not good, depression, if you have bad depression, see a doctor. But a lot of times emotions, you have to recognize that they're just programs that we have in our brains. I was dating a girl that lived above me, similar to the story that Scott had told, and she was great. But after a while, I realized that on weekends, she was going out to fancy restaurants with rich guys, and I started to get jealous. And I realized I either had to become a jealous guy, walking around doing jealous things, or just delete the emotion. It was hard, but I got rid of it. And after a couple more months, I realized that I was dating a girl and spending no money, which was amazing. So I had this fabulous girlfriend Monday through Thursday, and I was saving a lot of money. In conclusion, I want to read you guys my favorite quote. If you don't like your job, this is the quote that I love. If you don't like your situation, make a move to get out, says Eckhart Tolle. And if you can't get out of your situation, accept it. True acceptance takes you beyond the situation and you rise above it. If nothing changes, it doesn't matter anymore. So stay in the now, my friends. Sleep is so important, and why they say deep sleep is so important is because when you go into deep sleep, your brain cells actually shrink, and the lymphatic system flows through your brain and takes away the trash and the waste. And this is why deep sleep is so important, because without deep sleep, your brain becomes a city where the trash people are on strike. You don't want that. Adapting at work. Scott had given a speech on emotional quotient. And this is one thing that if you want to become a great scintillating worker, you need to adapt and work on your emotional quotient. Get back to nature and eat well. That is my conclusion for today. Thank you so much.